Hi friends, Katie Rex here. Today in this video, we're going to be talking about Seint Makeup, and one of the most common questions that I get in response to my color matches is, are you sure that these colors are not too dark for my skin? And I promise you, I know it's hard to trust someone through a video, over Messenger or in an email, and all I'm doing is looking at a makeup-free selfie of you and picking colors, putting them in a cart for you. So I just want to show you and explain a couple things. So first, the colors that are on the website are not going to be a true representation of the color in person. That is a picture that's on the internet. It's not real, okay? Second is you can see here, so these are my three main shades that I use throughout my face, going from darkest, middle to lightest. And when you look at them in the palette compared to my face, you probably think this is going to be way too dark for my face, right? So one of the things that makes Seint Makeup so amazing is it's buildable and the coverage, because what we do with Seint Makeup is I'm going to color correct all of like the discoloration and redness around your face before we even get to your main shade. The reason that we do this is for longevity. You have to match your face color shade like dark to lightness with Seint's makeup, okay? So I'm going to go through, I'm going to do my makeup for you and just showcase on like half my face what I'm talking about. So this is my color corrector, and it matches the depth and darkness throughout my face. So I'm going to start with the darkest shade first and work my way to the lighter shades. You can see I have lightness already naturally under the eye, and I'm lighter in tone in my neck and chest typically than my face. So I want to make sure that we're matching all throughout as well. So I like to use the blush and bronzer brush for my color corrector and main shade application. And the reason is because it gives a medium coverage. I do have another video about the differences between all of our brushes if you're looking for an even lighter coverage or a fuller coverage for your makeup. But this is always where I recommend to start everybody out when it comes to switching your makeup to Seint Makeup. So I'm going to take the end of this brush and just do a few swipes, just a couple taps into that main dark shade. You can see there's barely any makeup on the end of this brush. You can't even tell, hardly. And that's the point, because you use such little amount of product. So I'm going to take this, and like I said, I'm going to only go on half my face because I want you to be able to see the difference side by side. So I'm just going to start buffing this darkest shade onto my redness and just buff it in. That's another reason why I really recommend this brush, because of the way that it's shaped. You can really buff the product on. I'm going to pick up a little bit more and try to just get half my nose here. Buff the product on. I'm going to take whatever is left over and just buff it up there on my forehead, a little bit above my eyebrow, and find any other areas that need redness coverage, or just discoloration in general coverage. Okay, now that we've corrected that redness, now we're going to bring the tone of how dark that redness is. We got it all one shade. Now we need to bring it down to my natural main shade foundation. So that's this middle one here. So I'm just picking up some more product, dipping it in, and I'm going to start buffing that right over top of my color corrector, and I apply this everywhere, over everything. So this is the shade that I just buff and swirl in all over my whole face. Okay, now that we've got my face back to a neutral tone, this is where we start adding that dimension in to give ourselves a three-dimensional look, okay? So you can see my skin still looks like skin. It's just corrected to the natural color that it should be. It's amazing. Before I move on, I'm going to talk real quick about our Perfector sponge. A sponge is critical to making sure this makeup does not get cakey, that you don't have too much on. I will say the number one thing that I see any of my customers coming back with and needing support on is they're adding too much makeup to their face. So this helps until you kind of get that feel for the consistency of makeup that you should be putting on. I like to use this Perfector sponge and just dab off across any excess. This is also going to help to blend anything together and out and just give a flawless look to your skin. Okay, it is damp, and I wring it out, run it under the faucet, wring it out, and then just squeeze every last drop out of it and let it sit in air dry for a little bit. Okay. When it comes to adding the dimension into our face, it comes in two phases. There's a brightener and a contour. This is going to lighten areas of the face, and this is going to create dimension and darkness in areas of the face. For those two, I prefer to use the detail brush. With this brush, it's got a dense but squarish end. It's got straight across. This is perfect for contouring and getting up under those cheekbones and around the hairline. And then it does have a smaller end on the other end, perfect for brightening and getting super small sections. So I'm going to start with brightening first. I'm going to the lightest shade here. And I just pop a little bit here in my inner corner of my eye. And I'm just tapping it around. I prefer to brighten only like one shade, 1 to 2 shades lighter than my main shade foundation, because I'm not looking for a super dramatic difference here. Okay, I also use just a little bit of it as almost like an eyelid primer and swoosh it across my eyelid. The next place I'm going to tap a little bit is above my lip, on my chin, and a couple strokes on my jawline, just because I really want to make sure that blends down well in with my neck. I do go down the center of my nose to brighten that up and just fan it out between my brows like so. Now that we've brightened, I'm going to go through with that contouring. So I'm going to use the angle of the detail brush, and I'm going to go directly into my contour on an angle like this and just tap in so only the product gets on the bottom half of that brush. And then I'm going to start with my cheek contour. So I start at the cheekbone, and I'm going to hug right under this cheekbone, going all the way down until I start to reach the hollow of my cheek. You don't want to go past the corner of your eye, okay? So I have that contour up there, and first I'm just going to place a line. So I'm going to tap and push up. I'm going to go down a little further and push up, and go down a little further and push up. This is creating that contour, natural contour line for me. Then I take whatever's left over, now that I have that chiseled out line going all the way down, and I'm going to press in and flick up. This is going to help with blending that line in an upward motion going all the way down. And I just keep doing that back and forth, because this is going, anytime you're doing contouring, you want to blend up and not draw it down. So you can see how that just helped to add a little shadow, a little dimension under that cheekbone. The next place that I contour is around my forehead line. So I stick right up into the hairline. I still did the one half of the brush, and I just brushed this in back and forth, blending and pressing it into my actual hairline. And eventually I'll meet these together and go all the way down my hairline. So now I have a little bit of dimension up there at the hairline. It's starting to zone in towards my eyes. The next place that I contour is under my jaw. So I'm going to start back here behind my jaw and bring it down like so. And then bring it down. And this is just going to help add dimension under my chin and add some shadow in. Okay, so we've kind of connected under here, around here, and then around the jaw. The last place, I should say the last two places, these are more, I would say, optional. Okay, so this is only if it's something that you want to do. My nose and under my lip are the two places I'm talking. The inside of your nose. The object is to get both lines as close together as possible on the tip of your nose. Never do your contour on the sides. You always want to be up on top on the bridge. The next place is under the lip. This is just like so, and outline your lip just a little bit. It's going to help give it a little poutier effect, a little plumper lip effect. So I just like to add a little bit under there. Okay. So that's really the foundational piece. The last two that I have in my compact is a bronzer and a lip and cheek color. So we're going to finish off this look with those two. First, I'm going to start with the bronzer. So I'm going back to the blush and bronzer brush. I'll use this for both. I like to use this puffy end. I'm going to squeeze it kind of together just to dab a little bit of bronzer on, like so. And I'm just going to fluff it back out to where it's nice and fluffy. The fluffier a brush is like this, the lighter application it's going to give me just a nice natural glow. So I'm going to start up here above my brow, and then I'm going to flick right above my cheekbone. With bronzer, you want to place this on the high points of your face. So wherever the sun would naturally just warm up and bronze your face. I'm going to grab a little bit more, and I like to put just a touch on the tip of my nose, like so, because the top of my nose would typically get burnt. A little bit on the tip of the bottom of my chin, and then I like to blend this down my neck and a little bit on my chest. And the reason that I do this is because I like to look like a bronzed goddess, okay? I like to add that summer glow color year round to my face. To finish off the foundational system is my lip and cheek color. This one, a lot of our lip and cheek colors can be so deceiving to you on the website. If you ever want a swatch of any of our lip and cheek colors, please let me know. I have every single one. And I can give you a nice little swatch and send you a picture of it back so you can really see what its true color looks like. Okay, I'm going to take this end of the blush and bronzer brush again, and I'm just going to tap in like twice to get some pigment on the end of that brush. I prefer to place all of my blush up onto my cheekbone back here behind the apple of my cheek. So I place it up on that cheekbone, and then I just gradually flick it back into my hairline and softly bring it into the apple of my cheek. But I'm very conscious about bringing it into this color is just so natural looking, just that little bit of glow, little bit of pinkness to it, and just helps to elevate the face on up. Can you guys see the difference in my face makeup right now? And these are lip and cheek colors, so they can also be applied to the lips. You can use your finger, you can use the multitasker brush or another brush that you may have. Whatever works for you. I'm going just barely outside my natural line. And that is it. That is just the foundational piece. If you are looking for a very natural three-dimensional makeup, this is the one for you, Seint Makeup. So you can see no makeup on this side, beautiful, flawless, uplifted face on this side. If you would like to get a color match, please let me know. I would be so honored to be your artist. You can have an amazing look like me. I'll talk to y'all soon. Have a great day.